Hello everybody. In this quick tutorial we will be taking a look at the Respondus lockdown browser and Respondus monitor settings here in D2L. So let's get started. We will start off in the Assessments and Quizzes tab. It will take you to a listing of the available quizzes, but to adjust the lockdown browser settings, you will choose this lockdown browser tab underneath that main header. This is going to open up another list of your various quizzes that are available. And so to go in and edit any of the Respondus settings on a quiz, what you do is click the arrow next to the quiz you want to edit and go into Settings. This will bring up a menu here. This is where you can either enable to not require or require the lockdown browser. You also have the option to require lockdown browser to view the results. I would recommend not checking that because it can be a bit of a pain when students go to log back in to see the results of the exam so that they don't have to go through the whole process of opening up the lockdown browser again. You have the option to set a password for the exam right here, and then there's a lot more advanced settings down here as well. There are several different advanced settings here. You can choose whether to lock the students into the browser until they're completed. You can allow them to use with an iPad using the Lockdown Browser app. You can allow certain specific web domains. For example, if there was a website for your textbook and it was an open note exam, you can add the web domain for the textbook and the students would be able to access that online during the exam. There's also options to enable a calculator and enable printing from the toolbar. Next, we will go over the Respondus monitor settings. Respondus monitor is a setting that uses the student's webcam to do kind of a simulated proctoring for the exam. It is all algorithm based, so there is not actually a person that is watching these. It uses the software to kind of track their face, and it watches for like their face and their kind of outline of their body as it's in the frame. It can track where they're looking. It can track whether they leave the frame, whether they're talking with someone who is in the room, things like that. And then it creates a report for each student so that you as the faculty member can go back and review those any moments that it highlights as potential moments of cheating or something like that. And you can review each of those and determine whether they were in fact doing something that they shouldn't during the exam. A couple of these options you aren't able to turn off, the webcam check and the facial detection. Those are baked in and you can't turn those off. These other options, you have the ability to add some additional instructions, guidelines and tips for using Respondus Monitor. One thing you can do is take a photo of the student that gets kept with their exam attempt. It can also gather their student ID information before the attempt, and then an environment check, which actually asks them to kind of use their webcam to scan their local area, the area around them when they're taking the exam, so that you can review it for, if they have hidden notes or their textbook is sitting right there, if the textbook isn't supposed to be used during the quiz, things like that. All of these are previewable. I would recommend when you're setting these up, run through these previews just to see what the student's experience is when they're setting these up so that you kind of can guide them through and so that, you kind of know what the students can expect and help walk them through the process. This next section has the facial detection options. These are those settings. And then there are a couple other advanced settings that you can use at your discretion. So to make all of these changes applied to that quiz, you would just select all the ones you want to utilize and click Save and Close. And that's how you set up Respondus Lockdown Browser in D2L. Thanks for watching.